overcome my fear of failure. So, like, of course, we're all afraid to start something because we're afraid we're going to fail at it, especially when it's something new, something you've never done before. So you're like, okay, I'm so scared to just do it because I've never done it. And what if I just fall flat on my face? So I had to bet on myself and know that I had these skills, and the worst that can happen is that it doesn't work out, but at least I tried. So I've learned the great benefit of I call this the roadmap to success. You try, and then you fail, and then you learn, and then you succeed, and then you repeat. So that's something that I learned through overcoming my fear of failure.
Hey, hold up. Fred made this?
What's up, everybody? Here with Off the Field with Isaiah Robinson, special guest Angel Jones, Miss Business Entrepreneur herself, Miss Business Coach, and life coach, and anything that you want to deal with learning how to make money and earning more money. So, how you doing today, Angel?
Oh man, I am blessed and healthy. I'm super excited to be here, to be honest.
Thank you, thank you. I'm excited for you to be here too, and for you to talk about your journey and just give so much tips back to the next generation of business entrepreneurs and people that wants to be successful.
Yes, yes. I mean, I love business and I love sports. So I felt like this was like the best platform for me to be able to connect the dots, as I like to say, for entrepreneurs and those who really want to thrive in this entrepreneur space, to grow and to see how they can leverage their knowledge about sports to apply to business and business development.
Exactly, exactly. I'm excited. It's gonna be a good one for all the viewers watching.
What's your favorite sport?
My favorite sport is football. My favorite sport is football.
Okay.
That's because I'm a quarterback. I played quarterback in college. But
Oh,
my second favorite sport that people may not know is basketball. I also played basketball my whole life too. Right
okay.
before I put the ball down, I had some hoop dreams.
Okay, that's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. I actually have the same favorite sports, football and basketball.
Okay, okay, that's right.
um, it's funny that you say you're a quarterback
Mhm,
because I was gonna mention that quarterbacks actually, in my opinion, as a business coach working with different CEOs at different levels, I
mhm,
feel like the skill sets that you have to acquire as a quarterback, the mental
mhm.
capacity you need to thrive in that position are the same that you're going to need to thrive as a CEO at
Yeah.
a high level.
Yeah.
So, man, if you're playing quarterback, no wonder you're so successful. Like,
Thank you,
it
thank
makes sense
you.
for sure.
So, talk to me about your journey and how you got here. Like, who is Angel Jones and how did she become a coach and everything like that?
So I actually started working for a nonprofit on the south
Mhm.
side of Chicago when I was just 13 years old. I was volunteering for hosting their events. So I will help out. I didn't host yet. I wasn't mature enough, but I did help
Mhm.
out at their events. So the nonprofit organization is called Fishing Buddies, and they were helping kids that were in the city learn about like fishing and boating and archery and water quality stuff that like kids in the South Side were not trying to do, right? So,
Right.
especially not Black kids. So it was really a shift in my environment that helped me to see that, okay, it made me change. But so I got hired for that with that company when I was 15. So I volunteered for 2 years and I got hired at 15 to work in the office. And I stayed with that company until I was 22 years old.
Oh, wow.
So 21 or 22.
Mhm.
So I literally worked in like all of the departments of a business, like marketing, operations, sales. If you needed to grow a business, like I worked in it because it was a small team, small organization. So we really had to kind of be a jack of all trades.
Mhm.
But I got married when I was in high school. Well, I just graduated high school. So I married my high school sweetheart a day
Oh,
after
wow.
my 18th birthday.
Oh, wow.
And he ended up committing suicide when I was like a month before or 2 months before my 20th birthday. So
Oh,
I
wow.
lost my best friend in the most tragic way. And
Mhm.
I realized at that point that I could not I couldn't leverage like I couldn't like mentally understand how this could happen. And
Mhm.
I knew I had these skill sets in terms of my career. And I learned about like mental capacity. So like when he committed suicide, everybody blamed me for it at the time because we
Mhm.
were in high school together. So we all knew we were like that couple.
Mhm.
And I wasn't able to have kids. So we were trying, and my reproductive organs were damaged. So I couldn't have children. And so I met my son's dad a year later, and I got pregnant, of course. And
Oh, wow.
I've got my son, and his name is Golden. He's a golden child. And he was the inspiration for me to start Golden Angel Management, because I really saw that I was stronger than I knew and smarter than I thought. And I could accomplish whatever I set my mind to, as long as I just stayed focused and kept God first. So at that time, I was 22 and I knew how to start and grow a business. So I had these skills to help business owners grow and scale, but I didn't know how to manage money. So with my husband passing away suddenly, and he had no life insurance, and I didn't know how money worked, it really helped me transition to financial services. So I learned about annuities and life insurance and economics, and I made it to the top 10% in the region out here in sales. So I learned that sales is service and service is sales, and I became a business coach, teaching other business owners how to scale and increase their revenue.
A lot of adversity throughout your story. What are some challenges that you faced and overcome to be successful, and that you've seen, look back at it and say, oh, wow, okay, I did this, and it just made me a better person here?
Mhm. Well, I would say if I had to give it like a top three, it would be one, overcome my fear of failure. So, like, of course, we're all afraid to start something because we're afraid we're going to fail at it, especially when it's something new, something you've never done before. So you're like, okay, I'm so scared to just do it because I've never done it. And what if I just fall flat on my face? So I had to bet on myself and know that I had these skills, and the worst that can happen is that it doesn't work out, but at least I tried. So I've learned the great benefit of I call this the roadmap to success. You try, and then you fail, and then you learn, and then you succeed, and then you repeat. So that's something that I learned through overcoming my fear of failure. And then the second thing I learned was self-awareness. So remember, I said I learned that I was smarter than I thought and stronger than I knew. I didn't believe that at first. So I had to become self-aware and know my worth and know who I was, and that I was worthy of success and worthy of impact in my community. And overcoming that self-doubt really is what it is. So the first one was overcoming the fear of failure. The second one was overcoming self-doubt.
Wow.
Doubting, like who I was and what is possible for me. And then if I had to give it a third obstacle that I've gone through that it helped me to, I guess, become, it would be like overcoming my fear of rejection. So like in sales, in business, you can't be afraid to be rejected. People are going to tell you no. And especially me, like, I'm an attractive woman, so I rarely get told no. So like, if I'm like, giving something or offering something and people keep telling me no, I had to like get used to overcoming rejection while I was working in sales. Like when you're selling a product or service, you have to be able to look at what you're selling and look at yourself and increase your skill set to communicate your value in a way that presents you as the expert in what you're offering, and a like no brainer to the person you're talking to that they should pay you to solve their problem. So I had to overcome rejection, my fear of rejection, and also increase my skill set.
Wow. So do you feel like, going back on what you just said, do you feel like everybody can overcome their fear of rejection, or do you feel like that's only something that can happen?
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like everyone can overcome any fear as long as they have the courage to like grab the bull by the horns and do it. Like it's just like if you have a fear of heights, if you have a fear of anything, love, like you can overcome it. You just have to make a decision about your determination to overcome it and then do the work, which is not easy. So I'm saying it's like super easy. It's not easy, but it's definitely possible for anyone to overcome it. They just have to consistently practice and do the hard work on themselves to see like, why is this fear here in the first place, and get to the root cause, and then get the help and support from those that you really need to pour into you so you can arrive at that space of no longer having it a barrier for where you want to go.
Because there's a lot of self-evaluation that you're going to have to do throughout your process and throughout your journey to make you better.
Absolutely.
everything happens for a reason. I really believe everything happens for a reason, even though at the time we might not believe it, but it's definitely a bigger purpose. And God doesn't make any mistakes. I would say that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, relating it back to sports, like not everybody was. I mean, of course, you have natural talent. Like you can be naturally gifted and talented in sports. Like you're just great at sports. You're just faster naturally. You just have the natural gift of throwing the right way and hitting your targets. But I always say what you lack in natural talent, you make up for in work ethic. So you know, you do the work, you get up earlier, you practice longer, you know, change your diet, you do whatever you have to do to get better. So the skill sets that you need to thrive in sports. So it may be changing your diet, practicing longer, practicing throws, doing more weightlifting, you know, whatever that looks like. Then you just relate it back to your skill set in your business. So maybe you need to present more. Maybe you need to go over your presentation. Maybe you need to go over maybe you have a stuttering problem or whatever. You have to just practice that thing and you outwork the person that is great at presenting in the top of the food chain in terms of sales. Maybe you have to read more books. So it's like whatever that thing is, you just go hard at it relentlessly.
For sure. You gotta be insane if you want to be successful, I heard.
Exactly. I mean, I feel like everybody who's amazingly successful, they're a little bit, you know, we can't be 100% logical because we have illogical goals and ambitions. It's only impossible until it happens.
Right. Facts. So like you said, back when you was in your 20s and things like that, and you really didn't have any financial guidance or anything like that, and you have to do your own research. So what is the best financial advice for someone that's 30 and younger that you have for them?
I would say do not discount investing in yourself with books. So go to the library, go to the financial literacy department, get the books, read it. They say if you want to hide something from somebody, put it in a book, right? Make sure you read the books because that's all I had to do was read. So 3 books I would recommend for you to read, no matter what age you are, honestly. If you just need more education about finances and how money works, the first one is Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. The second one is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And then the third one is The Cash Flow Quadrant. You have to read those 3 books. So make sure you get those 3 at least just to start you off.
So how do you see the parallels between sports and skills and sales relate to each other? And do you have any experiences that you've seen that relate to each other in a successful way?
Man, the biggest one is our sis that just won the gold Olympics. Like everybody doubted her. Everyone, the whole world turned their backs on her, right? But then she won. Right. The mental capacity, the determination that she had to have, the commitment to becoming the person she needed to become in order to win is the same mindset, the same drive you have to have in order to thrive in business. So like when I first started my company, Golden Angel Management was started in 2015, right? But now we're here, but it wasn't until last year that I left my job. So, and we're in 2023 now. So from 2015 until 2022, I had to work my job full time and work my business part time because I did not have enough skill set, enough confidence, enough of what was necessary to thrive. So the parallel is the mental toughness, the discipline, the focus, the commitment is the same. You have to be determined. You have to be focused. You have to have a team. So I guess if we had to be more specific, in sports, you have a coach, right? You have someone that's literally there, keeping you on track, keeping you in alignment with what you need to become a winner. Well, the same in business. You need a business coach. Even LeBron James has a coach. The greatest, Steph Curry, they have a coach, right? So you need a coach in your business to take your business to the next level, just like they need a coach to take them to the next level to get a ring. You have a team. That's the second parallel. Although, yes, Steph Curry is amazing. LeBron James, amazing, right? All of these athletes that are very successful in what they do, they cannot win a game by themselves. They need a team, right? And they have to develop themselves as great leaders of their team in order to attract, retain, and develop their team members so they can win together. And just like in business, solopreneurship is great. I'm not saying it isn't. However, there are no high level businesses that have gotten to that high level of success without building a team. So those are some of the parallels that I can think of course, right off the top of my head.
No, fact. And I will say this though, I have learned you have to have that dog in you if you want to be successful. And a lot of people don't have that dog in them. So it's like, me personally, I believe that nobody wants to work a 9 to 5 their whole life. And like they want to have the financial freedom to do what they want to do on their own time, because nobody just wants to keep listening to a boss until they're 80 years old. You feel me? Yeah. So it's like you have to have a dog in you if you want to be successful. And that's basically the bottom line of things. If you don't got that dog in you, it's going to be hard to be successful. Like you're going to get the no's, you're going to get the yeses, but what's going to keep pushing you? What's your why to keep moving forward? Because life isn't going to be perfect. And that's why it's life, because you're going to have challenges and tribulations, but what's going to keep you moving forward is really got to have that grit with you. And I think that's a huge thing that comes with sports, because you're going to get hit. You got to get up the next play. You're not going to be able to just sit down and just be like, oh, well, it's me. Like, nah, it's always going to be another play. It's going to be somebody else trying to take your job. It's going to be something. So I think that's something big when you think about mentality and things like that. That's a huge thing.
Yes, absolutely. I feel like the drive and the grit that you need, and even, that's another parallel. It's competitive. So just like you have competitors in sports, like you said, it's going to be another athlete that could jump higher than you, that can run faster than you, and you got to stay above the competition, because you could easily get out the game and they're going to put that other person in because they need to win. So you can't take that personally. Like you said, that rejection, like, what, they took me out. Well, work harder and earn your spot earn your time. When I was in high school, they used to call it tick. Like, you need to get your tick. Like, you got to get your time on the field and you got to work for it. So just like in business, you aren't going to be the only person offering the thing that you offer, your product or service. There are rarely any new ideas. So you have to figure out a way to get and keep a competitive edge in your market space. Just like in sports, you have to make sure you're intentional about doing the hard work so you can stay on the field and get that time and earn that name to where people are like, oh no, they got to be on the field. Like they got to be on the court. Like, if they're not on the court, we ain't even gonna play. Like, nobody's gonna come and buy tickets. So I think you're so right about that grit, because the mental toughness that you're gonna have to acquire as an athlete to, we lost, but how you coming back though? Like, we missed the game winner, but what you doing at the next season? So like that mental toughness to not allow a failure to stop you from moving forward is the same that you're going to need in business, because you're going to fail. You're going to have a bad month or a bad season. You're not going to make sales, and you're not going to have people running down to your business trying to give you money for the product or service all the time, unless you put in that work. It's going to take work.
Facts. So can you talk about some specific obstacles or challenges you faced while building your business and how you overcame it?
Man, where do I start? I always say I made all the mistakes so my clients don't have to make them. So a significant one is hiring too soon. So like a lot of times when we're in business, like you said, we don't want to have a boss. We don't want to have someone telling us what to do. And that's a big motivator behind people wanting to start a business, because they feel like, okay, I'm gonna be the boss. I play by my own rules, but you still have rules in your business, and they're just governed by the state you live in, the county, and your customers, and then your team, right? You're only as great as your team. So I hired employees too soon, before I had the proper structure in place, before I had a solid strategy on covering payroll, on making sure that I had the systems in place for them to work their job efficiently. So the time that I was paying them for it, I was getting a return on my investment. So I feel like hiring too soon was something that I definitely went through that taught me the power of having a simplified and systemized operating system so my team can all work together in a way that brings the business forward with less stress, more unity, and of course, us always being focused on the end goal to be accomplished. So I think that was one of my biggest.
So as an entrepreneur, like how do you get everybody to the common goal? Like I know sometimes people want to be individuals or selfish with their time and things like that, but how do you drive everybody to a common goal to make you successful?
So there's three things that I want to mention. So I follow the KISS model, meaning keep it super simple. I love acronyms, right? So that's three things that you can do to make sure that everybody on your team, you're attracting people who are in alignment, you are retaining those people, and then you develop those people to grow with you in your business. So the first thing you have to do is make sure you're clear on your business mission, vision, values, and purpose. So just like sports, your MVP, right? You have to be clear on what your MVP is. What is our mission here at this company? At Golden Angel Management, we have a mission to help ambitious business owners increase their revenue by gaining some clarity and structure in their sales department. That's what we do. That's our mission. Now we have 4 core values that all begin with the letter I, because our mantra is it all begins with I, because we're big on accountability, but also our core values are all beginning with the letter I. So we start with integrity, meaning whether people are around or not, you always do the right thing. Then we say we have impact as a core value because we want to make sure that we are impactful with every single client interaction. And then the third one is influence. We're working with leaders. We're working with business owners who want to be and set the standard in their market. And then the last one is income. So we value income because everything we do is to help lower the poverty rate. So our purpose is in alignment with economic development and impact. So our MVP attracts people who are in alignment with that. It gives them something that they can commit to that's bigger than themselves. And then repel people who not. Like people who aren't in alignment with that, this isn't for them, and that's great. Like we want to make sure we are intentional about that. So that's the first thing you do is make sure you're clear on your business MVP. The second thing you do is do what I like to call the CWC method. So make sure every single person on your team can do the job that you hired them to do, want to do the job that you hired them to do, and have the capacity to do the job that you hired them to do. That will allow you to better manage your people and have them committed. Like you said, that everybody wanted to be selfish and stuff like that. Well, if they can do the job and they want to do the job, meaning so they can do it, they got that like experience and knowledge required, and then they want to do it, meaning they got that motivation and enthusiasm to do the job you hired them for, and then the capacity, they got the skill set and the mindset required to thrive. So that will eliminate them saying like, oh, I'm being selfish. Well, they want to be here. So it's not like something that you like pulling teeth. You're not like dragging them. They're running to you, right? Because they're CWC. And then the last thing you do is be intentional about the culture you have in your business. Shout out to my business coach, Tequila Shabazz, because she really helped me see the value and intentionally creating my culture. So what type of culture do you have in your business? Like, are you all an environment of winners? Do you all thrive on the simple things like punctuality, being on time, communicating well, acting as a family? So decide what type of culture you're going to have, because that culture is going to weed out the people who not in alignment with your MVP. Like if we have a clan culture, meaning like we're all family here, then that selfishness won't be an issue because we're a family. We're all about, you're either with us or against us. And that culture is going to spill through and, help you thrive in your business.
Love that. So I know you was in sales for quite a couple years. And do you have any fascinating sales stories for us to share? Whether it's somebody that motivated you or something just like most memorable or anything like that, craziest sales story?
Well, I feel like my biggest example I always use is the 3-year sale. So I always say there's 8 steps to the sales process, right? And the 8 steps begins with suspicion. And then you go to the second step, which is annoyance. And then the third step is curiosity. So let me explain a little bit as I say. So suspicion is like when somebody's selling you something, you're suspicious. You're like, what you want? Like, what's to you? Like, I'm suspicious about what you're asking of me, right? And then the second step is annoyance. So you stay persistent, and then you get annoying to the person. They're like, man, Angel always talking about business coaching. Like, she always talking about development. Like, what? She annoying. Like, I always see her on my timeline. And then you have the third step, which is curiosity. After I'm on your timeline so much talking about business development and sales and systems, you're gonna get curious. Like, let me just click on the video and see what she's talking about, because she been doing this. Now I'm curious, right? And then you have the fourth step, which is interest. So once you get to my video and then I make you change your way of thinking about sales or about business development, then you're gonna be interested in, like, okay, let me just book a call. Because I mean, I'm interested in what she has to say, how she can help me grow my business. Then the fifth step is respect. So once you book this call with me and I show you that I'm actually knowledgeable about helping you solve your business problems, then you trust me, which is the sixth step, right? I earned your trust. I trust Angel because she did what she said she's going to do, and she has serviced me well. So now I'm at the seventh step, which is loyalty. Like, now you're loyal to me. Anytime you think about business development, you're like, I'm only talking to Angel. Like, because I'm loyal to her. She's established herself as the expert at my helping me solve my business problems. Then the last step is dependency. You're dependent on me. You don't talk to nobody else. You're not making a decision about your business unless you talk to me, right? You're depending on Angel. So those steps, most people do not last beyond step 2. Because once somebody says, you're annoying, you stop calling them. You stop showing up. But my 3-year sale, I was consistent. I kept showing up. I kept calling. I kept texting every time on the money, right? So, of course, I was selling insurance. So I'm like, let me just get you a quote. Let me just get you a quote. And I will always just consistently call, like, hey, how you doing? You still don't want a quote? Nope. Okay. You still don't want a quote. 3 years of this. Finally got to step 3. They was curious. Angel, you've been calling me and for 3 years asking me for this quote. Fine, I'm curious. Let me just go ahead and get the quote. And I closed them. So I feel like that was a crazy story for a 3-year sale. I call it the 3-year sale because it took 3 years from the time that I met this person to the time they decided to give me a chance to be their trusted advisor for their insurance needs. But the thing that I want everybody to get from this is don't give up after step 2. It's 8 steps. So remember the 8 steps, and then keep that in mind. Once you get rejected, once you get someone to tell you, no, I'm not interested. Once you get someone to say, nah, I don't want that. No means next opportunity. You just keep going and you keep staying consistent until you get to the time that they're curious. You got to wait for that magical day, and your persistence will pay off because you're going to be the person that comes to mind when they think about whatever you offer, when you position yourself and staying consistent as the expert in your field. You're going to be in call.
Like that. I love that, actually, because I know sometimes I go through it sometimes too. I may ask somebody 2-3 times and be like, man, forget them, man. Somebody else. And realistically, it takes somebody 7 times to see something for them to even think about it. So, like you said, that consistency and persistence is key to sales, because you just never know when that person going to the air.
Yes, you never know. And the thing, you can miss a sale just because you gave up too soon. So shout out to Steve Wilmer, who taught me these 8 steps and coached me in my sales journey. Here's why you have to stay consistent. Our attention spans are very short, right? So like, let's say you have been the person to talk to me about sports this whole time, right? When it comes to sports, Isaiah Robinson, you there, right? But then when I need some sports advice, and you don't pick up, and you don't call me anymore, and then I just so happen to have another coach come in front of me, now I'm going to talk to that coach because you missed your beat. You missed your opportunity because you didn't follow up and you didn't show up. So now you did all that work for, let's say, 6 months. And then because of the right place, wrong time, I just got with another coach. So you can miss out on your opportunity if you give up and you do not stay consistent. through all of the stages. This is why you have to have a funnel in place with a solid CRM, a customer relationship manager, so you can keep track of everybody that you're contacting and connecting with. So when the time comes, you're going to be the person they call.
You there, perfect time.
Mm-hmm.
So throughout your entrepreneurship journey, I know it can be tough and be rough in some early stages. So what kept you motivated and driven through your long times and long journeys of the entrepreneurship, of being an entrepreneur?
Well, honestly, it was my son Golden, because I'm a single mom, and it's just he and I. And when I became a mom after failing so many times and feeling like it was something I could never do, I made a promise to myself and to God that since you allowed me to be a mom, I'm going to be the best mom there is. So, I literally wake up every day with that in mind. Like, I want to be the best mom, the best example of what a wife looks like, the best example of what a woman looks like, because he's looking at me and he's going to choose his wife based on me. He's going to choose how his wife parents based on how I parented him. So I really use that to motivate me to be the best entrepreneur. I really want my son to be an entrepreneur. So so children are visual, right? So they're going to do what they see, not what you tell them. So I have to be a great entrepreneur. I have to show him resilience. And of course, like you said, everything relates back to sports. Sports teaches you discipline. Sports teaches you consistency, commitment. And I have to be that example in my business because, of course, I put him in sports and he has to learn, like, okay, resiliency, commitment, discipline. Well, when I experience hardships in my business, does that mean give up on the business? No, that means, okay, we're trying to try a different strategy. And I always say, you never change the goal. You just change the strategy to get to the goal. So this strategy didn't work. We're not changing the goal. We're just going to say, okay, this way of accomplishing this goal didn't work. So let's try a different way. So what motivates me through the tough times, through the slow months, through the ups and downs and ebbs and flows of business is remembering my reason, my why. Like, my reason for doing all of this is to be a better person, be a better example, be a better mother. And that never is going to stop. But now it's bigger than my son, even, because I'm your golden angel for more than just my son now. So I've built my brand. I have to do it for other entrepreneurs. My purpose is to educate, motivate, and inspire ambitious entrepreneurs. Well, inspire ambitious people, but my company's mission is to educate, motivate, and inspire ambitious entrepreneurs. So that's what we do and why we do it. And that keeps me going. I can't let you all down. You all looking at me like, dang, if Angel gave up, like,
Right.
I don't know what I can do.
Mm-hmm. Facts. So you talking about money. We had some conversations about money. Do you know anything about tax-free retirement accounts and premium financing?
So as it relates to tax-free retirement accounts, I do not give any type of financial advice, but I always say consult with your insurance agent and your accountant. You have to consult with both of them because they have different expertise and knowledge around how you can get money tax-free and write things off legally and be able to invest your money legally in a way that will have you protected. So as it relates to that, I always say I don't give financial advice because I cannot legally, but consult with a great insurance agent and tax accountant. Make sure that they both are connected so that way you have the best strategy for going about how to manage your money.
Right. Well, luckily and blessingly, we got that here at Off the Field Financial Services. So if you guys need anything to learn about money, look, me and you, we're going to have a conversation later. But if anybody else wants to learn about money, just hit me up in the DMs or underneath the comments, and I'll get back to you. Definitely reach out to you and help you out.
Hey.
So from your perspective, what is the most common challenges people face when starting a business, and how can they address those problems?
Well, honestly, it's always goes back to top 3: lack of financial discipline. So they don't have the discipline as it relates to managing their money. So of course, a lot of our businesses are self-funded. So if you aren't managing your personal money well, you're not going to manage your business revenue well. So you have to be disciplined with your finances. The second thing was lack of education. So a lot of business owners don't understand how to write off things on their taxes legally, how to go about money management. So they make these decisions that get them in a bind that they have to get out of later. So the second will be lack of education, and the third one will be self-awareness. So they have some traumas. They aren't aware of their strengths, their areas of growth. They aren't aware of how they learn best, how they're motivated best. And you're going to have to be self-aware in order to thrive in business. So those triggers and traumas that you have, they're going to come up. So that's why I specialize in helping business owners bridge the gap between personal development and professional development, because they literally are working hand in hand and will either help you grow or not grow in your business if you don't address it. So those three, I would say: financial discipline, education, and lack of self-awareness. Oh, let me tell you what you can do. I'm sorry. You said what you want to do about it. So when it comes to lack of discipline, I always recommend this book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. It will help you to be more disciplined and knowing your habits. So we all are our habits. So you are what you do, not what you say. So make sure that you control your habits so you can get more disciplined and accomplish what you really want to do. The second thing, for lack of education, make sure you get you a business coach. Like, get you someone who is skilled in where you want to go, who can help elevate you to your next level, so you don't have to make those mistakes. I always say investing in yourself and coaching is a cheat code to success. It will cut off years of just time for you to accomplish your goals in your business. And then the last thing was, what was the last thing I said? Self-awareness. Get you a therapist. Like, I always say, you need you a therapist as a business owner, especially because your business is going to reveal those harsh truths that you've been running from about you. So get you a therapist, do that introspection, get to know you better, so that way you can overcome those internal things like self-doubt, like fear of failure, fear of success, those childhood traumas, the people in your life that made you believe that you weren't worthy or that you could not accomplish whatever it is that you set out to. Get that out of the way with your therapist. Work on yourself so you can thrive and take your business to the next level.
Love that. Love that. So what advice do you have that you received or discovered for personal growth, both as an entrepreneur and just as an individual?
So two things. First, you have to get and keep your boss BBL. Okay. And I love my acronyms, not the surgery, y'all, but your balance, boundaries, and limitations. As an ambitious business owner, and me, I am a woman of many different hats, right? We wear all of the hats. We do all the things. I'm not just a CEO. I am a mother. I am a woman. I am a friend, a daughter. So it's like we have these other obligations, and we have to remember to know our boundaries, like keep our balance between work and recreation, and then also know your limits. Like, you need limits with your customers, like you need limits with your friends. You have to make sure that you limit your engagement based on what is best for you, because only you can determine what your limits are. So get and keep your BBL, balance, boundaries, and limitations. I failed forward with that. I was doing all the things and wearing all the hats. I was stressed. I was overwhelmed. I was struggling with anxiety. I fell into a depression, got into the hospital, like struggled with suicidal thoughts. Like, it's real out here, these entrepreneur streets. So make sure you get and keep your boss BBL. The second thing is to get your core 5 people in your life. Your environment is everything. So you need these 5 people to pour into you to get you to your next level. The first person is your goal you. This is someone that's like 10 to 20 years older than you, and they are the picture of what you want your life to look like, right? So with their health and wellness, with their love and relationships, with their work and money, with their purpose and spirituality, they have success for what you define success as. That's your goal you. The second person is your mentor or your coach. This person literally is helping you get to your next level. They will put their arm back and pull you up to your next level. They've accomplished what you would like to accomplish in life. The third person is a peer. You need someone on your same level. So this isn't someone that you go to for advice. That's your mentor. You go to this person to vent. You go to this person to remind you that you are not crazy. Like, this is normal. These problems happen to not just me, right? And it will really help you to mentally navigate and remind yourself, like, I'm not alone. I'm not crazy. This is normal. I'm okay. And then the fourth person that you need is a mentee. You need a mentee, not like on some give back to the community. Yes, that's great, but the mentee keeps you in alignment with your past and present and future, because your mentee, remember, they want to be where you are. You've accomplished what they want to accomplish. So you're helping them get to their next level. There's power in giving back and reaching out and bringing someone else forward, but they also keep you humble because they are where you used to be. So you can't get too big headed, because just some time back, you were them. So for yourself, like, so they humble you at the same time of increasing your confidence, because remember, they look up to you. So they think you the stuff. They think you all that in the bag of chips. So you need your mentee. That's your fourth person. And your last person is your spiritual guide. Now, this person probably doesn't know about business. They aren't going to help you as much in business, but their purpose is to help you stay aligned with your core values, to help you stay grounded, to keep you in alignment with your morals. They're like, hold on, Isaiah, this ain't you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you remember who you are for real. Like, they keep you grounded and in alignment with God, to keep you functioning in the space that gives you that mental capacity to overcome these things as you're on your journey. So these 5 people will really help you.
Love that. So, like you mentioned, like, as an entrepreneur, it's hard out here in these streets, man. It gets good, it gets bad. It's hard out here. Yeah. So, what are some things and tips and advice you can give back to the people when you feel stuck or stagnant in your business? Like, what are some steps they can take to get a breakthrough, or just to achieve for the next level?
So, I guess it ties right back in. This is when you tap back into those people. So. Remember, you have your mentor, and your mentor has been where you want to go. Most likely, if you're stuck in your business, your mentor has already gone through whatever that is. Whatever issue you're at, they've overcome it. So you reach out to them. And if they haven't, then that's why you have your goal you. This person is exactly where you want to be. So you call them, and now your goal you, most likely, and your mentor, you probably got to pay them though. So I guess the biggest thing is, remember to invest in yourself. So invest in your development, so you can call and say, this is what I'm struggling with. I'm stuck right here. What do I do? What guidance can I have to get me through this? And they will help you in your journey. And then you go to the whatever person for whatever reason. So if you're stuck in your business, then you go to your mentor, your business coach. If you're stuck mentally, let's say you had a bad breakup and you hurting, right? Like you're struggling emotionally. Well, you vent to your peer, because this peer is a trusted person. This isn't someone you have to be intentional with who you put in these positions, right? So you vent to your peer, and then you call your therapist. What's a healthy way for me to get through this breakup? This mental space I'm in, right? This emotional space I'm in. So when you're stuck in any area, you have the person to go to help you overcome it.
Like that. Now we get to the hot seat questions of the interview. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right, cool. If you could have dinner with any historical figure, dead or alive, who would it be?
Oprah Winfrey.
Okay. Tell us about a guilty pleasure TV show or movie that you enjoy to watch when you want to relax.
Power.
If you could wake up tomorrow with a brand new skill or talent, what would it be and why would you choose it?
That's a good one. A brand new skill or talent, what would it be and why? I would say IT, man. Like being a whiz with the tech stuff. Because I mean, that's where the world is going. Like I just got I had to teach myself Chat GPT and working with AI. I'm I'm not as, skilled with technology. So if I could wake up with a new skill and be great, man, technology, I could build apps and like do AI, create my own AI system for Golden Angel Management. Yeah.
Nah, I understand that skill too. I won't be mad at that one. Most spontaneous thing you've done?
The most spontaneous. Let me see. I would say shoot my shot at a person. That was the most spontaneous thing I did. I think at the podcast summit.
Okay.
I saw somebody I like. I'm like, "Are you married?" And yeah, it didn't end up working out. I got rejected, but
man,
happens to the best of us.
I said spontaneous. It happens to the best of us for sure.
Yeah, thank God I'm in sales. I'm used to rejection. So I can take a no. At least they can't say I didn't try.
All right, 100% of the shots you don't take.
Period. That's what I always say.
So thank you for coming on the show. I really appreciate you. You really gave the audience a lot of information. I know the Off the Field family appreciates you too. So anything you want to say to them or just your fans out there?
Oh man. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful for the opportunity and for all of you who are on your journey right now in entrepreneurship, and it's tough. Don't give up. You remember the process. You try, you fail, you learn, you succeed, and then you repeat. It's always too early to quit.
Nice. Can you tell your audience where they can find you at, your business and everything you got going on?
Yes. So Golden Angel Management is on the south side of Chicago. You can just Google Golden Angel Management. We should be, if my SEO is right, we will pop up right in Chicago. And on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn, I'm Angelisha Jones, and that's ANGELESHA. So it's just Angel and then ESHA. J, and then of course our business page is Golden Angel Management, and it's Your Golden Angel with a dot between. So your.golden.angel. And of course, follow our podcast. Your Golden Angel podcast is on going to be released in December.
Hey, hold up. Fred made this?